Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first Rory Peck Award ceremony. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all.
The Rory Peck Trust is as vital now, I believe, as it ever has been.
Rory Peck's reach is extraordinary, but what is even more extraordinary are the courage of those who enter the awards, risking all simply to tell stories to audiences so that they know what's going on.
There is a famous church in Bucha, and next to it there was a mass grave. I don't remember how many bodies were there, but anyway, so that was my first day of working with Spanish journalists.
We need freelance journalists to tell the stories from the point of view of people that live there and have lived them.
It's like a one-person army. Do you have to do everything?
देश के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने इस देश के इतिहास का सबसे बड़ा फैसला आपको सुनाया है। देश का हर हिस्सा कंप्लीट लॉकडाउन में।
We don't really have the safety net and the infrastructure network of big networks. We are just working on pure passion and nothing more than that.
Rory was a journalist because he wanted to tell stories that he thought were important. And his first big story was covering the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. And he said, people have to understand this. I want to tell the world about what's happening here. That should be the heart of journalism. After Rory's death, Juliet Peck called a half a dozen of us together, friends and colleagues of Rory's, to discuss what we could do to mark the contribution of freelancers and provide the kind of safety net that she didn't have. So we created the Rory Peck Trust, and very much looking at different ways we could recognize and the world would recognize freelancers.
Honestly, we couldn't do anything without them. So they are possibly, and I have to say this carefully, facing a producer and a cameraman, they are probably the most integral part of the whole operation.
Things are moving more and more in the direction of budgets being squeezed, regimes, groups wanting the world not to see what is happening. Without freelancers, it's not that you don't get the full picture, that's always been the case. It's that now often you don't get any picture at all.
Half of the population now is in Khan Yunis, so...
We have a fantastic freelancer working there for us who has opened the world's eyes to what's going on in Gaza, who has given us that true accountability, the true eyewitness reporting that allows us to show to a British audience, a global audience, but allows us also too to show the world and British politicians about what's happening there and what action needs to be taken. Our freelance network is essential to us, it's our absolute backbone.
It's about translating the human dimension of the story. That's the link between all of us. The viewer, myself as a journalist, and the actual person involved on the ground in the war or conflict or whatever. And that's where freelancers, for me, come in. They are my window into the mentality of ordinary people on the ground.
Down here.
Oh, yes.
For those freelancers who are putting themselves in harm's way to bear witness, I really think there's a duty of care on the industry to make sure they're supported. Over the last 5 years, we've seen a significant increase on the attacks on journalists, not just physical, but psychological. I think freelancers are often exposed to additional level of risk because of the nature of breaking news.
It's an incredibly dangerous thing to do without the right safety training. And that's why Rory Peck provides safety training for those who are going out into the field to try to make sure that they have the skills to equip them to actually operate in an area like Ukraine.
When I looked at the cost of the courses, I was like, there's no way I can afford this as a freelancer. I don't know if I'm going to have work in 4 months. I had been told that you get bagged and taken hostage on the hostile environment training. So I did expect that, but actually when the whole scenario where they take you hostage actually happened, it was 1,000,000 times worse than I expected. It was really, really bad. But also at the same time, it was so realistic, and that meant that there were so many things that you can learn, and hopefully I will learn afterwards. Without this training, I won't be able to go to the places that I need to go to.
When we deploy freelancers, whether from the UK
or locally in different places around the world, nowadays they're really treated like one of our own, with the same level of security kit, the same welfare considerations. The way that freelancers are looked after has changed massively over the years. As I say, that's in no small part thanks to the great work done by the Rory Peck Trust.
At the beginning, you are afraid. Everyone is afraid. But in a couple of months, you can get this addiction, because when you're at the front line and you have like explosions everywhere and you can be killed in a moment, yeah, not in a minute even, and you have this adrenaline, you come back to your normal life and you wanna go back to the front. So it can be the problem as well. So that's why I think it's essential to have people who you can talk to about this problem.
Rory Peck is a safety net. That's how I view the Rory Peck.
This is Ahmed Baida. He is our Yemeni fixer. He's also a fixer, producer to a whole range of media outlets across the world.
I found that my moods change. I was easily to get angry. I felt like I was full of problems in my life. So I thought, like, what's going on with me? You know, just last year that Rory Peck had announced for freelancers, if they need any trauma or psychology support but specialized in journalism. Rory Peck gave me this grant, and I want to talk to one of the best experts they have, and she really taught me how to get rid of all of the problems, all of the anxiety, all of the things that I had. It was 2.5 months course. You can't imagine. I found that Ahmed Baida is back again, and I felt that I'm more and more stronger.
We should be cherishing our freelancers and our fixers and all those people whose names don't appear in the credits, who are there behind the scenes, who help us try to convey what it means to be a human being.
Back in what's left of their homes in Khan Yunis, who've already lost so much.
Unless you can get to the truth, unless you can show your audience what's happening on the ground, you can't hold power to account.
Your freedom is built on media freedom. And if it wasn't for Rory Peck and supporting the journalists, the truth tellers in the field, revealing corruption and exposing injustice, then your freedom would begin to erode. And the media freedom that you enjoy today is precisely because of the support that Rory Peck gives to those truth tellers right around the world.
What would Rory make of the Rory Peck Trust? Well, he'd be bemused by it. He was a modest man, but he was passionate about democracy. He was passionate about the rights of people. He was passionate about human rights and good journalism. And he would appreciate that the Trust has made that support possible.
Rory Peck, thank you so much. I'm Ahmed Baida from the front lines of Yemen. Thank you for all of your support, not just for me, but for the freelancers worldwide. I wish you all the best and happy anniversary.
Organisations like the Rory Peck Trust are so essential because they are the eyes and the ears for the freelance community.
This is a cause that has become a mission. It's one that I believe can make a difference.